Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure that you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. And today, we are going to be diving into Hellions issue number 7. Now this is picking up directly after the Ten of Swords event. Now for those who did not check out the Ten of Swords event, I will leave a link in the description and at the top of the video. You can check that out. We covered the entire length of the event that was taking over every single XMen issue. So be sure to go check that out. And without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So this issue has us picking up with Sinister in front of the Quiet Council. And he's really trying to just play this sympathy card so freaking hard. He's just like, oh, you know, my Hellions, they've died. Whatever will I do? And he really just tries to play this sob story about how they need to be resurrected right now because they were out there trying to do all of this good and save our heroes, but ended up getting betrayed. And he even tries to accuse other people of turning it against him. Specifically, he accuses Apocalypse because Apocalypse is now holding residency with the quote-unquote enemy. But little does he know that they've already begun the resurrection process on the Hellions that had lost their lives. And really, Emma Frost was just letting Sinister go on so that he can make a fool of himself and show just how much full of crap he really is. Now, picking up in the hatchery with Xavier and the Five. And they're talking about something that's wrong with Orphan Maker, because his readings have been reading really odd. And so they cut the nutrient flow so he would lay dormant, because they need to keep his X gene dormant as it stands. Because without his suit, then everybody's screwed. The entire world. And then Wild Child and Nanny, two of the mutants that had died on the other side, really unsure of how they were going to come out, because we saw what happened with Rockslide, and Rockslide's really just not the same person he once was. He had like his memory swiped, is what it's seeming like. And so when it came to Wild Child and Nanny, they really didn't know what to expect. But they've started to find out that they've come back different. Not in the different that Rockslide is. But their husks matured faster, and they seem a little more eager. Now, picking up in the White Palace with Emma Frost and Havoc. And Havoc's really just going over how he feels like he doesn't belong on a team. He definitely feels like he doesn't belong on the Hellions. You know, he doesn't agree with them. He almost looks down on them at times. But she really tells him, like, this is just what you need. For everyone's sake, just stay with the Hellions. You need to remain with them. And she's just easing his mind, telling him, you know, this is the place you belong. At least right now, this is where you should be. Now, picking up at Bar Sinister, we have Greycrow, Empath, and Psylocke all sitting here having a conversation about how full of crap Mr. Sinister is, because they know there's something more than what happened to their deaths and how they died. And Psylocke's just like, you know, Sinister gave his report that it is what it is. And at the same time, Wild Child and Nanny show up, along with Mr. Sinister. And pretty much he introduces himself in this regard just by saying, hey guys, what's up? I can't say anything about how you died. I may be the sole survivor, but I can't say a word to you. In other news, we need to help Orphan Maker get a new suit. For him to get a new suit, Nanny needs her ship. So without the ship, we can't get the suit. Now, the egg ship was repossessed by the Right earlier last year. And so, really, what the plan here is to break in. It's supposed to not be guarded at all, except for automated systems. A perfect job for the Hellions, he says. But of course, he's not going to lead them. You know, he's too broken. He's too hurt from what happened getting back. You know, he didn't die. He didn't get a new body, so he's still trying to heal up. And this is when Havoc really just comes in the room, chimes in. He's like, oh, sorry, I'm late. So how the hell did you get us all killed, Sinister? Like, how did this happen? And this is when everybody starts to question him. And Psylocke steps in the way and just says, you know, he said everything he needs to say. Now step away. And they all back off and listen to her. And Sinister goes to thank her. But really, she's just like, you know what? Just take me to her. And he takes her to Apoth, where she pretty much is able to see her daughter. Maybe not in the human form, but this is her daughter that she's seeing. And this is why she's been so agreeable and backing up Mr. Sinister along the way, because he has leverage over her. He has her daughter, essentially. Maybe not intentionally trying to hold her hostage or anything of that nature, but by the very principles, she's held hostage, even if it's unintentionally. And so without Mr. Sinister, she doesn't have her daughter. And as the team's flying over Arizona, because Mr. Sinister let them borrow his fancy jet, they're talking about how Havoc's going to have to break into this compound because the concrete shielding is about 5 feet thick. And Grey Crow and Wildchild are having a conversation, and Grey Crow's really just saying, hey bro, like, you look really good. And Wildchild's really giving us an understanding of what's happened to him. He's saying that there's a fire in his blood. It spurs him forward to hunt, to rend, to find a she-wolf and grow a pack. And so it's making all of his instincts higher. And in essence, you could say it made him stronger. And while this is happening, Havoc goes to ask Psylocke exactly why she keeps siding with Sinister every step of the way. And why doesn't she say something? Why doesn't she use her voice? And she didn't say anything to him. She just puts the jet in autopilot and says, escape pods now. And then Havoc just starts shouting, escape pods, move, like, go. And everybody's just like, what the hell is going on? And Havoc asks, like, what are we doing? As everybody loads into the escape pod, and she says, saying something. And she used the jet to crash through the wall of the right. And looking around, they're immediately confronted by some smileys. And without hesitation, Wildchild and Nanny go in to attack, and they literally tear these things apart. And after they're all destroyed on the ground, we see the arrival of Cameron Hodge. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, Hellions is really growing on me as an X-Men line. Now, I love Mr. Sinister's banter, but I also like the way that everybody knows he's just full of crap all the time. Like, literally, nobody believes half the shit he's saying anymore. And so it's really fun to see this back and forth. Especially like Emma Frost. Emma Frost can literally tell it like on a cue, just like, yep, cue the waterworks, and Sinister's crying. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. I love the way this is written. The artwork, as always, is just absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, I have to say, out of all of them so far, Hellions has been one of my favorites of the X-Men lines. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. How are you liking Hellions? Is it your preferred X-Men comic? If it is not, which one is? And why do you like it? If you have not yet, please be sure to sub to the channel, like this video, and until the next issue,